Good day and welcome to Production Talk. My name is Reinhardt, and in today's video I will show you 3 things you can add to your home recording setup to make your recordings process easier and get a better sound out of your project. If you haven't seen our video about Let's Start Recording, you can click on the card up here to get a basic understanding of a small recording setup. Let's get started. So you've set up your small recording space or home studio and feel that it's time to add some more stuff to grow your studio. There are endless options of gear and equipment that you can add to grow your studio, but where do you begin and what is the next step? Here are 3 items you can add that are not too complicated to operate, but will make a big difference in your workflow and most likely your end result as well. So the first item on the list is, surprise, surprise, studio monitors. The monitors I use are the Yamaha HS5s, very nice frequency response and very versatile. There's a lot of options to choose from, so do your research well before you make a purchase. You may be wondering, why can't I just use headphones? Well, it is a difference in sound and perception. Because headphones work well for a small setup or for on the go, you only have the left side covering your left ear and the right side covering your right ear. With monitors you have some bleeding from the left to the right ear and vice versa. Headphones are also closer to your ear, so you will have a different perception of what it sounds like through monitors or speakers. They'll have different designs and the brand can also be different. Your research and the design of it can also be different, so you'll end up having a difference in sound. Which brings me to some desktop speakers. When you work with monitors, have a set of desktop or USB speakers available to use as a reference as well. Remember, most people will listen to your song or watch your video on a laptop or mobile device, so you must make sure that it sounds good in all scenarios where people may listen to your recorded audio on. So if you can, once you have finished mixing and tweaked your audio, have a listen on different devices and speakers, example, headphones, USB speakers, phone, even in your car, to make sure that the production that you worked on sounds well balanced across all devices. After all this, don't get me wrong, you can still use headphones for monitoring, and they are a especially good solution if you can't make a lot of noise when you are sitting and mixing or editing. Just make sure you use other options for reference as well to get a good balance. So the next item is the MIDI controller. This is a MIDI controller. This is a Samson Graphite 49 and it's got 49 keys, hence the 49 in the name. So what on earth is MIDI? MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. In short, it is a digital version of an instrument, in most cases all instruments. So how does it work and how do I use it? You can create a drum beat, bass line, or even a whole orchestra by just programming a few instruments in MIDI. That is great, but what does a MIDI controller have to do with it? The MIDI controller triggers certain sounds or instruments when you record, which helps you as a musician play on the MIDI controller as you would on a normal keyboard or piano. You can then choose what sound or instrument you would like in your recording, and voila, you have a world of instruments at your fingertips. You can still have the advantages of MIDI without a controller, but you might find it easier to just play in the pod instead of sitting and programming it. This is just a brief explanation of what MIDI is and how it works. We will still do a full video on MIDI and how to use it. MIDI used to connect through dedicated MIDI ports, but you can connect most MIDI devices with USB directly to your computer. The third item is a DAW controller. A controller controls a lot of often used functions in the DAW, like stop, play, record, mute, solo, and even the fader. So the controller we use is a PreSonus FaderPort. It's got your fader, it's got pan, you've got your mute, solo, and your arm or record buttons. You have your bank selection. You can read or write faders so that they're automated in your mix. You also have your transport panel where you can record and you can play and you can rewind and fast forward through your recorded audio. PreSonus has a few versions of the FaderPort. The FaderPort, FaderPort 8 and FaderPort 16. The number is the amount of faders you have on the controller. A controller is very similar to a control surface, but a surface handles bigger setups with more features and functions. Please note that this is not a sponsored video and none of the products or companies that are mentioned in this episode are sponsored. The hardware and software we use are by personal preferences only, or items that we already own and have on hand. The links of the products and companies that we use in this video are in the description below. If you like this video and would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified when a new video is available. You can also follow us on Facebook at Production Talk channel and Instagram at production.talk. The links will appear on screen and in the description. There you can stay up to date on news, events and up-and-coming episodes. If you have any feedback, suggestions or questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below or via any of the previously mentioned social media platforms. We will try our best to respond to them. We hope that you have a better understanding of what you can do and add to your studio to create better sounding projects. Be on the lookout for our next video that will be out soon. Take care.